On today's freezer, it's spooky season. Spooky season is among us, as well as cuffing season. So I took the liberty of finding this Instagram post where where it's all about perspective, right? So this guy was texting his girlfriend or whatever, and he was like, to make the long story short, in all my down times, bad times, and everything that went wrong, you was there. And the girl replies, "Yes, I will always be there for you." And then he replies, "No, I think you bring bad luck." so it's all about it's all about perspective. So it's good to have somebody to hold you down in all your bad times and when everything feels like the world is against you and all that. But sometimes you feel like the person just brings bad luck. Um,
I mean, there's a difference between holding somebody down and holding somebody up,
so
and just holding somebody's hand. So,
actually, I'm going to read the text. During all my hard times, you were by my side. When I lost my job, you were here. When I got sick with cancer, you were here. When my mother passed away, you were here. When my house burnt when my house burnt to the ground, you were here. You were with me, and when my business failed, you were by my side. So holding him down when all that happened, it, it's not funny because that's some serious stuff. But like the funny part about it is it's just sometimes you feel like somebody's just bad luck, but they're really
how? Like, did he give her cancer? Did he like incite cancer in her body? No. Like, did he set her house on fire? No. Did he have anything to do with her mother's death? No. Like, if there was an omen in there, like, oh, right before this thing happened, they got into a or like he said this. You know, if there were a pattern, fine, but you can't just say that he's the only common denominator. Really, he's a common denominator too. Like, it was her house, it was her body, it was her mother. Like, she's really involved, more involved in those things than he is.
look. I'm just giving the perspective he gave, or I'm just giving the perspective she gave. Um, the caption was, "Imagine holding your girl down during all her hardships," and she says this. So
No,
sometimes
this,
you just feel,
no, I think you bring bad luck. How about, wow. I mean, I can't imagine somebody saying that not joking. Like, like, are you seriously saying that?
I, I don't know what all transpired after that, but he it looked like he left her on red. I don't know.
I
He
would
might.
too. That's a lot of stress. You know how many conversations, how many phone calls, how many texts, all the hours he probably spent just like being there, and she's gonna say some stuff like, "I think you're bad luck." What? He's not the common denominator in that,
Honestly,
in
me
my
being
opinion.
me.
You could just as easily look on the plus side. Like, how about the fact that he was there when? Okay, well, it doesn't say whether or not she beat cancer. Maybe she's still suffering with it. But if she did, he was there. Okay, she had to have gotten a new place to live. Okay, her business failed. Like,
See, the if it was me, I would probably just laugh it off and be like, "Nah, I'm holding you down" with a laughing emoji or something like that. But it looked like he left her on red. So
because he knew she meant that.
who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We don't know what went down after that.
I mean, if it were me and somebody said that, I would just be like, I guess I better get away from you.
I don't know. I would just laugh it off, honestly. But I, I I would definitely like put the laugh reaction and then the like 3 laughing emojis because you got to be kidding me. This got to be a joke. But
Nah, I'll be like, well, maybe you need to handle your business better.
Bellz. That was the Be Might Freezer. Thank you.
Be my freezer. Okay, we're gonna have TayDZ on for poetry news as usual in the second half of the show. We're also gonna get a new poem from Be My, and you're gonna get something last minute from Bellz after the break.
Truly last
So
minute. And thank you for joining us on Poetry Slam with
Bellz
and your boy Napoleon B. Mate. Thank you for joining. This is another week with another great episode. Hope you stay tuned. We'll be back. And we're back.
You're listening to Poetry Slam with K Bellz.
And your boy Napoleon B. Mike. I have a poem for y'all.
Okay. And I have
Um,
a poem to follow that up. So get ready. Come hard with this performance, B Mike.
got you, got you. Kicking K to the back seat. Doubt. Words be sitting at the end of my fingertips, waiting to get out. It's like the blood in my pen is running out, feeling doubt coursing through my veins, not poetry. Nothing I know can help me. It's just doubt. Doubting myself, doubting my abilities, doubting my words will reach the ears they're supposed to, doubting my relationships, doubting that people are really there for me like I need them to be. I don't know what I should say or how I should say it. Sometimes I find solace in solitude, but I'm an extrovert, maybe an ambivert. I like being around people, just not right now. My brain is just scattered. I don't know how to feel. Feelings are like a yo yo right now. Days are blending together. Don't know which way is up. Feels like I keep going down. Like I'm digging a 10-foot hole underground. The dirt keeps falling on me. Like I'm being buried alive. That's how doubt feels when you just want to cry. Be made.
Oh, snap. Being buried alive. That's how doubt feels when you just want to cry. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I like that visual. And that was very impactful. And I think it was relatable too.
I appreciate.
Everything able.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Kay. Yeah, I've been just doubting lately if like poetry is even for me, like because I've been just like because I've been just such in a creative writer's block slump that it's like I can't. It's like I need something to happen in order for I to order in order to get pulled. I can't just write on a whim. It's like
That I mean, you gotta let the little things inspire you. You know, like you think of ideas all the time, like when you're in the shower, when you're in the car, when you're just like going into elevator music at work. You know, there are little things that do spark little bits of creativity. Those poetic moments, you came up with that. You told me about that, and you have to seize them.
yeah, I've just been I don't know. It's just been doubt all around, and that's just how I've been feeling.
Oh, so you about to cry?
Huh?
If you cry, we'll probably go viral. So just go ahead and cry right now.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry on live anyway. I might cry later, but I'm not gonna cry on live. Um,
Um,
but
yeah,
but yeah,
I understand what you're saying, and I really like that visual you painted about, doubt making you feel that way, and like just it being a crushing feeling, like you're suffocating yourself with like this what if, like trying to project the future, but it's an impossibility. So you just stay in your head in this sort of loop, and That's kind of a moment when you just have to decide to go for it. Go for something, even if it's something small.
Yeah, I've been just struggling with that. It's just like I just feel stuck, and it's like, well,
Like you have no idea what to go for if you were to go for something.
well, the thing is, right? It's been really hard for me to find a new job. Like I be putting applications out. I mean, I know it takes a while for people to get into that field, but it's like I was almost in my field, and then something happened. So yeah,
Yeah, it's frustrating when you feel like you're waiting on somebody to give you a chance, and then it's like when you get so many no's, you lose the courage to give yourself a chance.
yeah. That's just how I've been feeling lately. So on the happier things, hopefully, Kay, you got a poem for
Oh,
us?
lighten it up. Actually, I got a sad poem too, but I'm gonna read it anyway. And then I'm gonna tell you what inspired it whenever you ask me the question. So this is my little 2-minute poem. It's a 2-minute poem because I wrote it in about 2 minutes before I had to perform. This is untitled. My image of you was tarnished. The moment you stood me up, I was left unprotected on the porch step because you told me she wasn't going anywhere. That betrayal made my chest hurt, brought tears to my eyes, made my throat burn. It was all frogs piled like a stone. I couldn't swallow the pain of betrayal, the ache of carelessness that never needed to be spoken. At that moment, there was no polish for your armor, and you were no longer my protector. I was my own varnish, polished to top choice. I am now my guardian. Okay, Bellz.
Okay, Kay Bells.
2-minute poem, 2-minute poem.
Last minute poem.
2-minute poem. All these crumpled up pieces of paper, just smash them into a binder. Sell for 99 cents. You can get it on Amazon, y'all.
What inspired that poem, Kay?
So that poem was inspired by one of my parents. Like, I'm an adult now, so you know when you grow up, you kind of see your parents as people rather than just your parents. And it's always kind of awkward when you have to stand up to your parent and just let them know, like, nah, I'm not cool with that. So I kind of had one of those moments the other day, and I just like made a poem based off of it because I think what gave me the courage and even the words to say what was really on my heart and was bothering me for so long was something my grandmother said actually before she passed away. And that part was my image of you like was tarnished. And like that was kind of circulating in my head and it made me realize, oh, like that's exactly how I feel because it paints a visual of, well, your reputation with me, like my respect for you is lesser now, and like the visual informs the person right away, like it can't be redeemed, like it's just different now.
Right.
And sometimes just saying what your bottom line is very therapeutic. It's like cathartic. Like, okay, there's nothing we can do to change it, but acknowledging that something has changed and what exactly it is, like where we both are now, is enough to move forward in peace. So I felt like that was a very big growing moment for me, and I have a lot more peace in my life because of that.
Yeah, standing up to a parent is very, very difficult. Um, Especially if you don't have the words. Like you know what you want to say, but to put it in a way that they being respectful is the hard part.
Yeah. I think that's been a growing pain of mine for a few years now because I finally got into a place a while ago that I realized, well, I don't have to like allow, okay, this is just common sense, but I didn't get it at first. I don't have to allow other adults to disrespect me. Not my parents per se, but just other adults. Because I guess
Right.
I spent so long being a kid that when I realized, oh, adults can be mean, like I kind of felt like I had to put up with it just because I was younger. But then I realized, well, wait a minute, I'm grown too. Like, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And then it kind of becomes like a technique of, okay, you have to realize how to speak to other adults who are older than you without being disrespectful. Like there's like a tactic for that. So
Right.
I would say I'm still navigating it, but sometimes you just gotta say what you need to say and keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah. And along the lines of like realizing that you have to be tactful with like not even older adults, like just people like yeah, with older adults it's like when it comes to live sound and like doing live sound in churches, I'm always almost always the youngest in the room. So it's like I have the knowledge. It's like they've learned based on what they had to do. To they've learned from like doing, but you actually have the knowledge and you've learned by doing. It's like a whole different ball field because I started out in live sound when I was like 11 or 12 or something like that. And because I was the youngest, it was like they kind of shooed me away and was like, you don't know what you're doing. But I had the knowledge and I learned from experience as well. So trying to figure out how to like shoo away older adults is difficult because you want to say what's on your chest, but you also got to be respectful about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a pain of youth. Just being able to express that you have knowledge and experience. Like a lot of the times, older people feel because they're older, they just know better and they can just cancel you out and it becomes their moment. And that's not always the right thing to do. It's okay if an older person is wrong and to tell them that they're wrong, or just to handle yourself and get your own space.
Right. Yeah, it's difficult. It's a learning it's a stepping stool. Like you gotta you have to learn as you go really because you don't really know how to be tactful as an adult, as a younger adult when you've only been tactful as a child.
True. It's definitely something that takes practice. And maybe TayDZ will have some commentary on that when we come back with poetry news in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll be back, y'all. And we're back, y'all.
We're back, y'all.
This is Poetry Slam with
Turbos!
your boy Napoleon B. Mate.
And the 9 to 5 working man, TayDZ.
Why you lying?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. And the 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. working man, TayDZ. Is that better? Is that better? Exactly. Why the singular snap, Bellz? Why?
Did you know you're 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.?
Sometimes. Once I did that.
Welcome back to the show, TayDZ. I hear you got some poetry news for us today.
Why, yes. TayDZ has some poetry news for y'all today. For you see, it is news, but also a sort of, let's say, social commentary from TayDZ today. Now, I don't know if y'all saw the report, report. It really shouldn't have been a report, became a report about the girl on social media who was crying because of her 9 to 5 job.
Huh?
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, snap. Okay. Let me regale you. So this girl was on social media, right? And she's complaining about her 9 to 5 job. She's actually crying about it. She's a young girl, probably early 20s. She's Gen Z.
Oh,
And
man.
she's complaining about her job. She's saying, I can't, working this 9 to 5 and a job I don't like. And then also I don't live close to this job. And so my commute is even longer. This job is in the city, a city that I can't even afford to live in. So my commute is so long, I'm basically, about half of my day is taken up. Actually, even half her day. Like most of her day is taken, I'll say about 12 hours of her day is taken up from the commute back and forth in the actual job. And she barely even has time to do the things she likes, to hang out with the people that she cares about, hang out with family, friends, And people, of course, lambasted her on social media. Older generations, older millennials, Gen X, baby boomers, all of them. Anyone who's probably like 35 plus and up was basically trying to rag on her. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Nothing that she said was wrong.
Exactly. I thought this was another Gen Zer just giving us a bad name. Complaining. No. I thought when you started it off, I thought it was another Gen Zer giving us a bad name and complaining about stuff that about the 9 to 5 job in general. Not about the commute. And then once you got deeper, I was like, oh yeah, she has a valid point.
Very good point. Come on. I understand that everyone likes to take put up the high road and act like they've, you just gotta suck it up, buttercup. You got a job you don't like? Ha ha ha. So do we. How about you go ahead and just take it? Ha ha. But let's be real. How many of us have woken up, looked at that clock, it says 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. You looked at your bed and you thought to yourself, man, what if I just laid here? Didn't think about the job. Didn't think about going in that office building, going into that construction site, going into that cubicle, going into that warehouse and having to do this job. What else could I be doing with this time? Boy, I love to sleep. Maybe get up and plant some trees or something. Go hang out with some friends and hold hands with somebody, maybe. Like, we've We've all had that moment. And yeah, they can tell you to suck it up, buttercup, but and they'll say, why are you complaining on social media? But you know what? Kudos to her. Kudos to her. Because you know what? She went on the internet knowing she might get clowned by people. And she basically put out the thoughts that all of us have basically thought.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
mean,
my commute to work isn't that long, so
Yeah, 2 hours is a
I
deal. Like that's 2 hours a day commuting. Dang.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my my commute to work isn't that long, but I do, even though I don't work till later. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I understand how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because you wake up, you're like, I gotta do this, this, and this before I go to work. If if you have a night job, you wake up, you gotta be like, okay, I gotta get stuff done before I go to work. I gotta eat too to make sure I'm nourished enough to do my job efficiently and effectively.
Also, your circadian rhythm is beyond foobar.
Exactly. So I'm actually longing for that early morning start. Uh, not necessarily late finish, but like
Mhm.
that. I'm longing for the 9 to 5.
And, and and before I pass it off to y'all, I do want to say I think her biggest point is, you know, and I hate to sound so nihilistic, but this is her biggest point was essentially imagine, right? You grew up this whole time. Everyone's telling you go to college, go to school, do this. School's going to get you your degree and you're going to be able to do this. You get your degree in this and you'll be able to, the doors will open. And then next thing you know, working at Starbucks, you're working for Amazon, you're working for, Panera or something. And then you really look at it and you think to yourself,
This isn't what I went to
so
school.
not even just that, you think to yourself, this is it, huh? 18 years of primary school, 4 years of college, if you did college. So this is just my life till I die, huh? Hey, Bellz, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, her commute is a part-time job. Like, whew. And then,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. I get articles in my Google feed about people who are overemployed. Like, they have remote jobs, like online, and they have like two or more full-time jobs just for the money, and they're like juggling all of this stuff. I guess these are people who are in an age bracket where they've already been working, like just not the group who's been introduced to the workforce, because this girl is 21 years old. She just graduated college, but also she went to college during COVID. So her classes were like online. And that's a big transition. Like, even if you don't have that experience of like online education and then you go into the workforce, entering the workforce, it's just a big deal. It takes a lot of like energy out of you. And I think the demand, I don't think anything prepares you for the demand. I think you're kind of right when you say that, we're sold a dream that you go to college and you get like a job to support yourself. And then I guess we see on TV, we see people like having enough time to go hang out with friends and, like have parties on the weekends. But if you're like one of the lowest, like on one of the lowest rungs of the ladder, like you work so hard and you feel so tired, it's not a bad thing working for Starbucks or for Target. But if you're a sales associate and you're on your feet all day versus if you're someone who's like the digital content manager and you're like up in an office, first of all, your pay is different if you're up in the office, and second, it's less demanding physically.
And the biggest thing for me, and probably for a lot of young people, is that you get to this point where you thought to yourself, well, I didn't go to school for this. Like B-My said, yeah, I didn't go to school for this, and you feel so unfulfilled. Like, and people will drag, you know, no, for anyone older who drags on, young people for getting useless degrees and useless majors.
Every degree is useless if you can't get a job in your field. Like, what? Or like the job you get, it's not sufficient for a lifestyle.
But so, like, my thing is, like, people will rag on you for getting such a useless degree, and then they'll say to you, maybe it should have been an electrician. Maybe you should have gotten training to be a plumber. What if I didn't want to be an electrician or a plumber? Why is it that we have to conform to a societal standard in order to enjoy life? Why is it that I can't follow my dream and do something that I want to do? I'm not saying I am not obligated to enjoy things because I want them. I'm not obligated to my dreams. However, don't sit there and criticize me for my dreams because I want to do something that makes me happy with the way I live my life. Because if the point of life is to be happy. It is to enjoy life. Nothing else to it. The meaning of life is to enjoy it. And if I'm being an electrician, I'm not enjoying it. I don't want to be an electrician.
Tay, you're sounding very anti-hustle culture right now. I mean, I'm for it. Yeah. I think you can follow your passion and be productive.
That's exactly what I'm dealing with right now. Like I said earlier in the show, I'm putting out job applications. Jobs want certain requirements, stuff you didn't get in school. You have to go to a second school or like go further in your education in order to get those certifications, in order to get those experiences. And by the time unless you're going for psychology or a doctorate or a doctorate in psychology or a medical degree, by the time you graduate from the undergrad, you're burnt out. So you don't want to go back to school. You're already thousands of dollars in debt, and you're just tired of school. So it's like, and then when especially being someone who went to college during COVID, it's like you can't get that hands-on experience that you wanted or you needed to get those requirements or to get those tech classes or whatever. And again, you're thousands of dollars in debt because Congress wouldn't pass the student debt forgiveness bill, and you're mad, and you're working just to pay off your bills, your student loan bills, and not doing what you really want to do.
And the thing is, houses are expensive.
Yes.
There's nothing. It's so hard to simply enjoy life now as a young person, in the same way that your parents, when they were your age, enjoyed it. Your parents could buy a house for not cheap, but they could buy a house cheaper than what it is now.
Exactly.
By the time they were 24, your grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah, By the time your parents were probably 28, they probably had a house. Like,
I mean, we
By the
definitely live
time,
in a different economy. Like back then, it was definitely a culture of you didn't even have to go to college to get a job that paid you enough to have a lifestyle. Like you could get
mhm,
a promotion at work or just work enough hours at a job or even have
mhm,
a main job, a part time, and maybe like another little hustle. You could work enough to live.
mhm.
But now it's like if you have a minimum wage paying job and a part time job, you still may not even be able to get an apartment.
Yep. So, and then I saw something really crazy once where someone said, if you can't afford the housing in the area, just move.
huh? How can you? Mm,
She said, just move to another state where you can afford it. So, in
um,
order to enjoy life, I need to move to Idaho. Like,
pretty much, pretty much.
You gotta
You
move to
gotta move
Wyoming.
to you
what's
gotta
she say?
move to Wyoming or Idaho to build up your to build up your money, just so you can move back to your state if you want, or even move to another state.
Yeah. Well, so we're all moving to Wyoming, aren't we?
Yep, yep.
I'm moving to Wyoming. I feel like it's easier to move from a place with a higher cost of living to a lower cost of living than from lower cost of living to higher cost of living. Like
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
the wage in Wyoming is enough to live in Wyoming. Like you can't take
Yes.
that and live in LA. Like you can't take
Yes.
that and live in like Maryland unless you're living in the mountains of Maryland. Like what?
well, you can build up your coin enough to move back or
The
move to another.
differential is
Yeah,
crazy. Like,
Now, see, the strat is to move to New York City, save up money while living in a cardboard box, and then come back to Maryland.
I mean,
exactly,
everywhere
exactly.
is less expensive than New York. New York City, that is.
Yeah. And LA and New York. Mm-mm. That's a story for
Yeah,
next week, though.
we may be able to elaborate or debate about that in a little bonus content thing. But let's get our trio poem off and do it the way B might suggested last week, and then we can close our show. B might, do you have time?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what's the rotation? Is it me, B might, and Tay?
Yes.
Okay, so
So we all start with "I hope they pay me."
okay, so I
Okay.
started with I hope. Wait, so I say my poem, then I say I hope they pay me, and then you say
Yes.
your poem.
Yes.
Okay.
But in the beginning, we all say together, "I hope they pay me."
Okay.
Y'all ready?
Okay.
Three, two, one. I
I
hope
Hope
they
hope
they
pay
pay
they
me.
me.
pay me.
Damn, that was bad. Like, maybe you do like a silent count, like a three.
Okay.
I
I
hope
I
hope
hope
they pay
they
me.
pay
they pay
me.
me.
We sound like
Okay.
oh,
Okay. Such a section, okay?
No, let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. Be seamless about it,
however
please.
Okay.
we do it, then I'll just start. However we do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
I
I
hope
I
hope
hope
they pay
they
me.
pay me.
teamwork. Whatever you don't do makes the dream skirt off my timesheet because the bigger player complained about 1 more hour. So the boss took $200 off my weeks. Which button must I press for the next opportunity? Gray office walls turn me sleepy as they compress my creativity during a show that keeps on after I start blinking. I'm sleeping on the job and listening for voices down the line. Both of us open our jaws to yawn. 1. I'm tired of being on the last rung. 2. Desire for any ladder is gone. 3, take my badge, pop it off while I step out and see everything beyond studio walls to keep me on someone else's program. My new ID is limitless, illusionless, reality flowed and waved. I feel so sad when I get paid. Not enough hours on my timesheet. The numbers show no power. It's a lack, not ability. It's bad communication that leads to poor decisions made. It's my dark face that makes that white man assume I'm always angry. It's the boys club indignation that makes him think he can argue with me about my feelings. My ego was worthless and his is worth everything. I just ran out of my workplace. I hope they pay me.
My feet wet, diving head first, slipping and sliding all over the floor, moving pallets. People not doing their job right. I gotta fix it. Too many lopsided, too tall, too wide, just plain old ugly. Tipping, leaning, just looking wrong. I hope it don't fall on me. Man, it fell over. Gotta rewrap it. Gotta rebuild. I just hope they pay me.
Your mouth's on F, but your brain must be on E. If you think that I can't see through you like cellophane, you think that I know nothing. You think that I don't understand. No, you gotta do this. No, you gotta do it like that. You think you're training me, but all you're doing is putting training wheels on a Ferrari. There's no need to try and act like you know more than me. You don't know more than me. I know what I need to know. And the only thing you need to know is that I know you know nothing. At this point in my time, there is nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can teach that can make me understand this job anymore. But obviously you deserve to pay more than me. Obviously I'm the crazy one. Obviously I'm the untalented one. But when it comes time for work, all of a sudden your bladder begins to go on F, and all of a sudden it's, I'll see you in a minute. That clock seems to be very time specific. I hope they pay me.
I hope they pay me.
I hope they
I
pay
hope they
me.
pay me.
Dang.
I was early. My bad.
Can't become a poet on Poetry Slam. I know that's right.
If I can
Also,
admit something,
the cellophane.
I want to admit. I want to admit something. By the way, I really only wrote 2 sentences of that. The rest of it was on the dome.
I was wondering about
man.
that because you told me you only wrote 2 sentences, and I was like, okay, let me write 2 really quick. But it ended up being 12. Snap! You slammed on us, surprise like that. Surprise.
Okay, off the dome. Off the dome.
Yeah.
You really pulled a B mate on that one.
You did. We were reading our whole poem. Like, it sounds like you guys just read your new parts. I read my whole thing and my new part. Like, I thought we were reading our whole thing.
No, I read my whole thing. I didn't add anything new.
I feel like I have something new every week, so I might as well just make a new thing every week.
I was adding my new stuff to my old thing to make one big poem.
Um,
And I was saving your old stuff and adding your new thing to your old thing, so it's like one big poem.
oh, it's fine by me. I don't mind. I guess when it comes to me, sorry.
Let's do a hashtag. Let's do hashtag hope they pay me and try to get other people who hate the workforce and are like under 30 to participate. Like tweet in or whatever.
Oh, I hope they pay me poetry thread. Oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
Anti-Business Club.
all right. I'm gonna post that on the Twitter.
We
We're
gotta
gonna
post.
have,
We gotta post like snippets of our poems so people get what we're doing.
yeah. So we're gonna. I'm gonna post it on the Twitter. We're gonna start it off. We're gonna do the I hope they pay me start off poem thread on Twitter. Watch out for that, y'all. Be
Yeah.
coming.
Too bad Twitter doesn't exist. So I think you're talking about X.
Twitter, X, whatever. It's
Yeah,
all the same thing. It's all the same thing.
I feel like even major news articles are resistant to X because even Poetry News Tay just talked about in that Rolling Stones like source article, they say Twitter now X. Like people still have to say what X is.
Yeah,
Or like
it's
Twitter/X.
Yeah, like
it's been declared as one of the dumbest marketing moves of the 21st century when it came to renaming Twitter to X. Like,
yeah, because now Instagram and Mark, what is his name, Zuckerberg?
Yeah, you got
it. Can still Twitter and use it for his threads or whatever.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, guys, that was super fun. We know you gotta get back into the force, so we're gonna let you go on time. Hey, Bellz, this is a great slam.
This has been Poetry Slam with
K Bellz,
your boy Napoleon B. Mate.
KBZ. We'll go with it.
Good night, everybody.